What's up, y'all? Welcome to another little FCP update. I wanted to update everyone real quick on the ongoing Peng Shuai story. So, today, I woke up, had the day off, thankfully. Luckily, something came up at the day job, so I didn't have to go in. And I woke up to this. So we've got here is an alleged message from Peng Shuai, the detained, potentially, the tennis star that came out and said that she was sexually assaulted by a former, at that time, a standing member of the Chinese Communist Party in the Politburo, the standing committee, one of probably the 7 most powerful people in all of China. And I read all that stuff yesterday. If you didn't catch that, you can go check the update. Also, I have an update. I put an article up here, so you can check this out. There's a lot of information in there, not only about the case, but about Me Too kind of in general in China. It's called Peng Shuai, The Dangers of Speaking Out in the Me Too Movement in China. So go check that out. But so here's the email. It says, "Hello everyone, this is Peng Shuai. So first of all, this is supposed to be directed at this man, Simon. So Steve Simon, he's the Women's Tennis Association's chairman and CEO. So it's kind of weird that she says hello everyone when this is supposed to be directed to him. But anyway, because this is from CGTN. Which is state-run media in China. So they released this basically saying, oh, we got a copy of this for some reason. I guess she just CC'd one of the main English language state-run agencies in China. But anyway, so that's a little strange. Hello, everyone. This is Peng Shuai. Regarding the recent news released on the official website of the WTA, the content has not been confirmed or verified by myself, and it was released without my consent. So, you might notice something here if you're watching the video. If you're not watching the video, there is clearly a cursor here. So, either they wrote this themselves and just were too dumb to forget that they were still editing it when they took the screenshot, or they copied and pasted it into like a word pad and then took a screenshot of it. If Peng Shuai did actually send this, which seems quite dubious at this time, for a number of reasons. But anyway, so looking over that, so she said it was released without her consent. The news in that release, including the allegations of sexual assault, is not true. Now, this is also strange. The allegation of sexual assault is not true, because we read through her statement yesterday. It sure sounded like she said that there was an allegation of sexual assault. She said, I was crying and I did not consent. So the article I posted one of the English translations. There's actually a couple out there, but I posted a couple of them. But she said, if I can find it quickly, she says, that afternoon I refused you. I just couldn't stop crying. I ate dinner with you and your wife. You said the universe is very big and the earth is just a grain of sand in the universe. We are humans. We're big as a grain of sand. You said many, many things, blah, 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 blah. I still didn't want to do it. So you said you hated me. You said that you'd never forgotten about me, and in the past 7 years that you treat me well, etc. I was afraid. I was panicked. And I was carrying all these feelings, so I agreed. Yes, we had sex. And there is another part. This is a different translation than I read last time. But here, there's also this. So that's the second time that they allegedly hooked up. I shouldn't use the word hooked up. It sounds at least like, and I would like to have a full statement from her, but I assume right now she's on house arrest. So she says, then you took me to a room, just like we did in Tianjin more than 10 years ago. Said you want to have sex with me. I was very scared that afternoon. I didn't expect to be like this with someone standing outside the door guarding. I couldn't believe that your wife was okay. This is we had sex 7 years ago, and then you were promoted to standing committee. Yes. So I have. Oh yeah, here. Yeah, she said I refused you, and I just couldn't stop crying. So that part alone seems like She refused, and then he just kept pushing her into it. Seems at least like some sort of assault. But again, I would like to hear her thoughts on it. And I don't believe these are her thoughts, but that's just my opinion. She said, "I am not missing, nor am I unsafe. I've just been resting at home and everything is fine. Thank you again for caring about me. If the WTA publishes any more news about me, please verify it with me and release it with my consent. As a professional tennis player, I thank you all for your companionship and your consideration. I hope to promote I hope to promote Chinese tennis with all of you if I have the chance in the future. I hope Chinese tennis will become better and better. Once again, thank you for your consideration." So this seems very dubious, and obviously people online are having a field day with this. If they, you could say she's, but she seems in high spirits here. She says she's fine. She doesn't feel unsafe. Why not do a little video interview with her? Now, again, she can do whatever she wants, but I don't know if she actually can right now because it sure seems like she is under duress. And I don't think that this in any way was written by her. I think this is made up, and they forgot to take this out, and they often have very strange... Now, granted, all of these people, even if it was Peng Shuai by a non-native English speaker, and I haven't actually heard her speak English, so I don't know how fluent or flawed her English is. Nor is obviously that is a big deal, but it would help us understand to what degree maybe this is correlated. But what I was going to say is that the English language news in China is often rife with strange turns of phrases. But you can see, looking at Peng Shuai, it's a lot of people talking about it right now. I saw that, Naomi Osaka spoke out, Billie Jean King spoke out, a number of tennis players, Djokovic here voiced fears over the tennis player. So you got just tons and tons of people here just constantly speaking out. So like I was saying, this is Steve Simon's response, and again, he's the Women's Tennis Association's chairman and CEO. So what he says is, "The statement released today by Chinese media concerning Peng Shuai only raises my concerns as to her safety and whereabouts. I have a hard time believing that Peng Shuai actually wrote the email that we received or believes what is being attributed to her. Peng Shuai displayed incredible courage in describing an allegation of sexual assault against a former top official in the Chinese government." And it's a super powerful one. I think that needs to be remembered. This guy literally, he retired in 2018, but up until that time, he was the dude, one of the group of 7 calling basically the shots in China, besides Xi Jinping. Like, he's the dude, the oligarch. So he continues, "The WTA and the rest of the world need independent and verifiable proof that she is safe. I've repeatedly tried to reach her via numerous forms of communication to no avail. Peng Shuai must be allowed to speak freely without coercion or intimidation from any source. Her allegation of sexual assault must be respected, investigated with full transparency and without censorship. The voices of women need to be heard and respected, not censored nor dictated to." So this is pretty important. I'm really glad to see that the WTA has pretty much remained strong on this. There was actually threats by the WTA here to pull out of China. So he made another statement where he said that he said, if the situation is not handled correctly, he said, quote, "If at the end of the day we don't see the appropriate results from this, we would be prepared to take that step and not operate our business in China if that's what it came to." That's a huge statement. That is something you will nearly never hear any of these groups that claim to be for human rights and equality amongst whichever group it is, whether it's some for gender or racial equality, whatever it is. Look at the NBA. Look at how they handled this stuff with one of their GMs, the Rockets manager, coming out and saying, he supports freedom for the Hong Kong people and self-determination. Like, everyone should support self-determination, but he just made a simple statement, and they basically made him retract it. Look at the IOC and the human rights violations everywhere that in the countries that they go to. Look at FIFA and the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, where they're literally using slave labor. Like, it just doesn't happen. So it's an incredibly big deal to see them actually taking a step up for human rights. Now, the question always is, will they stand by that if China goes actually get fucked? Will they go, okay, back at you, buddy? Like, we're pulling, because I don't know if anyone knows this, and you should go read the article that I wrote again, because I put a lot of these details in there. But I said on the last stream, they're supposed to be having the WTA championships currently in Shenzhen. Because of COVID restrictions, they didn't. They moved it to Mexico, in Guadalajara, I believe. But they're going to come back next year if goes according to the current plan. They're going to go back to Shenzhen next year, and that continues until 2030. So they have about 8 years of championships in Shenzhen, which is a huge amount of money. Both of the Chinese are dishing out, but also a ton of money that they're going to be making via tourism to the country and things like that. So it also gives them, this is another big thing that I think is important, and why groups like this need to step up, is because it allows them to launder their image so easily. Basically all they have to say is like, look at us, like, everyone accepts us. Look at all these national corporations and organizations that accept us. Clearly we're not doing anything wrong. Like, if we were, they wouldn't be hosting games and stuff in here. We wouldn't be so cordial with everyone, right? So I think that people and organizations like this need to step up and say, no, listen, like, what you're doing is not okay, and we're not going to be complicit in the horrible things that you're doing. So, I think everyone should go, like I said, go check out that article, but check out a lot of stuff. I put a ton of links in that article. So if you're looking to see a lot of different information, I mean, like, you can see, like, there's links. Oh, this part of there isn't that many, but there's links all over here. All these little green things and blue things. Yeah, we got links. Okay, so you can get a lot more of an idea about what's going on specifically with this case, and then also what's going on in general with Me Too in China, because I think that's really important. I also have an article specifically up on the site about the Me Too movement in China, so you can check that out as well. I mean, basically, you can just go to the site and hit the search, and then type in Me Too, and you'll find a bunch of stuff. It's pretty much all over. So, yeah, it's a quick way, I think, to. Yeah, here it is. It's literally just hashtag Me Too in China, and then you can go through this and get a lot of updates about kind of what's going on. It kind of gives the background. I talk about where the name comes from and everything, and then there's links. These are all external links to some of the big cases that have happened and I believe some of them are still ongoing. So just a quick rundown that allows you to kind of get a grasp about what's happening. Also, quick plug real quick, when you're here, make sure to turn off your ad blocker and then click on these. It really helps us. I mean, I hate plugging ever, but I got to do it because it helps us out a lot, and make sure that we're going to hopefully be able to transition more into doing more of stuff like this, and also writing more articles, etc. But we have to have funds to do that. Otherwise, we gotta stay working all these hours in the day jobs. Luckily today I had a little time off, so I could spend some time finishing up that article, and then also doing this little stream with y'all. But yeah, I'm really hoping that we need to these people need to speak out. And also, one more thing that I think is also important that the WTA did was that they stated that in this article here that basically they were talking to directly respond to Osaka, who's number 2 in the world right now. Basically, oh wait, this is a different thing. Okay, never mind. I take that back. Forget what I just said. Get rid of that. Anyway, but the title of that, I think athletes do have a responsibility to speak to the media. Now, press conferences I don't really care about, but I do think that they do have a responsibility to talk to the media when it comes to things like this, important things like human rights violations. I think that's obviously a little biased because I'm not a sport ball boy, but I think it's fun to watch sports, but human rights obviously and democracy and self-determination should take precedent over those things all day, every day. And I don't know that should have to be said, but clearly in a lot of cases it does, because you look at what's happening with the IOC, and now that we're getting really close to Beijing 2020, are we really gonna step out and actually do something? I mean, I'm gonna boycott it, but is everyone else? Is the IOC going to do anything? Certainly not. They're ready for those streaming rights to pop in and make a bunch of money. So it's unfortunate. Really hoping that people stay strong. I hope that Peng Shuai is okay currently, and hopefully she will be, if she isn't already released, that she'll be released soon from whatever home detention or whatever it could be. And yeah, hopefully that she'll be okay, and that people will take this as a wake-up call to not only as to the issue with misogyny and this chauvinistic culture that goes on in China, and obviously in many, many places around the world, including places that think they're enlightened, like in the quote-unquote West, like in America, where we still deal with some of these things. But it's obviously, there's other degrees to it when it's people in power, like everywhere around the world, but also when you're dealing with authoritarian nations where if you speak out, this is what happens. You get your post deleted off the internet and you disappear. So yeah, hopefully people will kind of wake up to all this and take a stand against it, fight against this sort of thing. And for normal people, I mean, you got to do what you can, which is basically, write letters and join protests if you can, and also vote with your dollars. I mean, it's unfortunately the current system that we live in is basically, at least in a lot of countries around the world, is unbridled capitalism. So that's just the way that you've got to vote sometimes, and it may not be the system that you like, and it may be gross that's how we kind of had to fight, but it is the way that it's got to go sometimes. So that being said, I am going to take a 5-minute break here, and then I will be right back, and we will be talking a little bit about the Biden-Xi meeting. So make sure to come back for that. And if you guys missed anything, obviously it's always up on the YouTube. Should be on the podcast feed as well. And then if you're into that and you've already got an account, Rumble, but definitely don't download that if you don't already have it, because Peter Thiel's a douchewaffle. So, in any case, I love you guys so much. Talk to you soon, and don't forget FCP最大。